As a few of you may know, I have quite a lot of videos here on this channel where I talk about the best recipes in Satisfactory from updates 1.0 all the way up to the future updates 1.1, 1.2, etc, etc. And there is quite a lot of recipes I have now gone over in the roughly 34 or so videos talking about these best recipes. So today we are going to go over every single recipe that I've done so far, including all the raw resources that it consumes, and what we're going to end up doing is putting it into some sort of little tally here, which is actually rather self-explanatory. So what this is what I'll be doing is every single item, I'll be mentioning a list of it down here, including all the categories. For example, ingots is a category. We've also got a couple more as well if I try and get the other tab up, which is somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere, unless I've closed it. Wait, no, it's right here. I was going to say, I have not closed this tab. There we go. So, for example, ingots is the first tab. Then we have minerals down there, which is great. Then we have aliens, which is apparently a tab, which I'm not really going to worry too much about. Liquids, which is mostly fuel. So, there is quite a lot to go over. All the tabs will then be mentioned. So, for example, I've already got something done here. Iron ingots. Is it a basic or an alternate recipe from the one that I want to personally use? It's an alternate recipe. If so, what is the name of the recipe? Because unfortunately, fortunately, depending how you look at it, if you have an alternate recipe, for example, this won't be called iron ingots. It's now called pure iron ingots. So it's nice that I know what the recipe is actually called. Then the yes or no category basically means, have I covered this in a YouTube video? Because the main reason as to why I'm doing this is because, again, I've made 34 videos, but I don't think I've talked about every single item in a video. So what today's stream is going to end up doing is we're able to come to a conclusion of what items have I talked about in a video, what items am I yet to talk about. For example, aluminium, I know I've talked about this extensively, so this is probably fine. But then it comes to things like cooling systems. I've probably made a video about it, but I don't know. And I know for a fact that there's a couple recipes that I haven't talked about. So this way, I'll be able to see what I've missed. And then I can make videos talking about it. Then we can do more best recipe stuff and more comparisons. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I am looking forward to it. So let's just dive straight into it by scrolling back up to ingots. And by the way, I do a bunch of these best recipe things, so if you guys like Satisfactory, then feel free to subscribe. I do a lot of tutorials, tips and tricks, guides, all that sort of jazz. Welcome, Journey, hope that you're doing good, and welcome, Vinod. First one's here today, hope that you guys are doing well, of course. And yeah, so iron ingots. Luckily, I've kind of already done this. One thing I haven't actually touched over, though, is this. Oh, nice, thank you. So what I actually want to try and do... Oh, that's cutting off over that. There we go. I'm going to be color coding everything. For example, the color code that I'll be going off is... this. So crude oil will be black, uranium dark green, water dark blue. I mean, you guys can look for yourselves, see the colors. So... that's the color scheme that I'm going to be going off. The reason as to why I do this is because when I'm actually browsing through these recipes, all I have to do is look at the colors and see, okay, well, these recipes all have iron or light blue consumption, and they all have water, and these four have copper, let's say, for example. So I can probably do all of that in one factory. So this is a really easy way for me to actually do my factories and plan, which is fantastic. So that is what I will be doing. The very first thing that starts off by doing then is our little grid. So iron ore is going to be that. Let's then do crude oil, which is going to just be black. There we go. Uranium. And uranium's dark green, which I feel like will be quite handy. Not that dark, there we go. Water. Pretty much every single recipe, excluding maybe one or two, uses water. The reason for this is because I use pure ingots, which means that, well, it requires water. I love the pure ingot recipe. Some people don't like it, that's fine, but this is my personal best recipes. Iron we've already covered. Excited photonic matter.
Look closer and you'll see.
Oh, and that's an ad. Nice.
Life. The friends.
I love ads. Don't we all love ads? No. Excited for tonic matter. There we go. I believe that's the longest raw resource name, isn't it? Excited for tonic matter. And that's going to be like a very light blue. That actually looks quite close to the colour. I quite like that. We then have copper. Or like so, which is just going to be red. I don't know why I've made copper ore red for everything. I'm just so used to copper ore now being red in my brain. Which is kind of weird, but oh well. Sulfur, spelled the right way, is a light yellow. We haven't really got a light yellow, have we? So let's try and make that ourselves. That's pretty spot on, actually. Okay. Limestone, which is a darker yellow. An actual yellow, a real yellow. Yttrium, which is a mud, sort of, maybe a bronze sort of colour. That's the wrong tab, nice. Oh no, that's bauxite. I think we'll do this, then we'll do that for bauxite. See, some of the colours like make sense. For example, uranium makes sense to be dark green. Bauxite, this, again, bronzy sort of colour. It almost makes sense. This next one doesn't really make sense, but I had to go with it because I've already used black for crude oil, and that's coal. This is a greyish, a dark grey. And that's because nitrogen gas is a light grey. Like that, perfect. Then we have raw quartz. And then lastly, SAM. What does SAM actually stand for again? Maybe someone in the chat might know. Is it strange alien metal? Material? I've actually forgotten. I've not really remembered that. And you're a purple sort of colour, which luckily we have got. Beautiful, and that's pretty much our color palette sorted. Then do this just to close it off. Brilliant. So going back to this now, this is just requiring iron and water. So what I'm now going to try and do is this. There we go. These colors will now be copied and pasted over here. Yeah, how is everyone's Tuesday? I forgot what day it was. Wow. How's everyone's Tuesday going today? Hope that everyone's having a nice week so far. Pretty much the last full week now until Christmas. Is anyone celebrating it? I'm looking forward to it. Oh, I have made the French flag. Kind of. It's fine. I'm not angry. I'm not angry. That looks fine. It looks fine. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. I did do the maths properly. Fantastic. Good, alright. Nice. Glad to hear it. Pretty good. How about you? Yeah, not doing dreadful. Yeah, not doing too bad. Stuffed my face full of chocolate before today's stream, so I shouldn't feel peckish halfway through like what I normally do. That's actually one thing I've noticed that I've been doing differently since I've come back. We haven't been talking about food as much, which if anything is actually a really good thing. Because whenever we talk about food, I just get hungry, and it's a bad time. Okay. I am apparently thirsty though. Brilliant. Iron, you're the colour of iron. You go there. Then your water. And there we go. That is it. That is basically our colour scheme done. It's literally that simple. Also, I spelt colour up there because I thought it looked kind of nice. That is basically it. That's how simple it is. And every single recipe, for example, this one, we're doing copper next, aren't we? So we need red and blue. Copper and water. But yeah, I find that when I do this, it makes it a lot easier to find which recipes are very similar to one another. For example, because of me doing this, let me show you. Might as well show you guys an actual example. I think it's here, isn't it? Yeah, see, this is my iron factory, because look at this. My wire recipe requires iron and water. Cable requires iron and water. Stator, iron and water. Reinforced iron plate, iron and water. Rotor, iron and water. And the reason why I was able to figure this out in a way is, first of all, I did a lot of maths. And secondly, it's because of my color scheme. My color scheme meant that I was actually very easily able to identify which recipes could be used with each other. So, yeah, kind of cool. Right, so, moving on to our next recipe. I suppose, how do I want to try and do this? What would make sense to me is if I was to write down every single item first, then go over all the videos I've made to see if I've covered the recipe in a video. For example, here I can see Fixmas. You can tell I've been doing Fixmas stuff. Fixite ingots. Great, I can tick that off. Rotors, tick it off. But little things like this, the early game recipes. I know what this is pretty much talking about, but I might as well give it a gander if I have to. Turbo motors, iron only recipes, which is actually a really good video I recommend you guys check out. Not to toot my own horn, but if you guys like really simple factories, there you go. Circuit boards, high-speed connectors. So let's just make a list of every single item in the game that I want to actually make. Because there's some things I don't care about, and I'm sure we're going to be discussing it. So, let's do it. Copper ingots, just so I can make sure you guys can definitely see that, right? Because the reason why you might notice my monitor's a bit squished is because if I didn't do this, that would be your view. It blocks out literally half of what I'm trying to show you guys. That's why I've minimized my monitor a little bit, just so it fits everything on screen. So, copper ingots, we are going for an alternate recipe. Luckily, a few of these recipes I'm aware of. I know what I'm doing because I've done a lot of the prep already. I haven't made a video talking about this. It's been in tons of videos, but not... I think, yeah, I've done a dedicated video talking about ingots, haven't I? Where I compared pure ingots with other stuff. But yeah. I'll do the whole color coding thing a bit later on. Like, literally now, I just want to write down the recipes, and if I know what it is, like if I know the recipe name, if I know if it's a basic or alternate, if I made a video about it or not, I would also include that. Ethereum ingots. Okay, I mean, this was always going to happen. There we go. 9. There we go. So, Caterium ingots. I'm pretty sure I'm using an alternate recipe, although I don't actually know what it's called. Maybe just try and double check. Oh, it's still called pure Caterium ingots. Okay, sound. Pure Caterium ingots. Have I made a video talking about this? Yes. And you require Caterium and water. Lovely. Okay. Moving on now, we have our steel ingots. Right, I know what I'm using for this. Yeah, no, of course I do. Also, the background color for this, I actually really like it. What is it? Oh, wrong one, again. You. Okay. Can I just do that? There we go. I think this color palette looks really good. Every tab's going to be green, and this is blue because it's the start of it, so yeah. So, steel ingots. And for this one, the one that I'm personally going to be choosing is... How many bloody ads on this website? This, the solid steel ingot. It is just... It's good. What can I say other than it's good? Another alternate recipe, by the way. Solid steel ingots. Now, considering I've literally got a video titled The Best Steel Recipes in Satisfactory 1.0, something along those lines, I assume I've made a video talking about it. Like, this category is only really going to be relevant for the more complex parts. that I don't think I've talked about or dedicated a video talking about. That's my guess, at least. Now, the requirements for you is iron ore plus coal plus water. Then we have our aluminium ingots. Now, just off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure this is the basic? Because I think one of them requires silica. I don't want to use that one because I don't like using silica, but that might be for another aluminium product, so I might as well just double check. Yes, I'm not using that. Oh, so it is actually the alternate. Okay, yeah, so I was right and wrong at the same time. So this is the pure aluminium ingot, which just requires aluminium scrap. Which requires a lot of resources within that just to make the aluminium scrap. Okay. Pure aluminium scrap. Make that a little bit bigger. There we go. Bring that back to here. Brilliant. Okay. I've made a video talking about this. I have covered aluminium on at least a dozen videos, maybe more. Probably more. So, yes, we've definitely covered this. Then, regarding what it actually is to make it, I should have a bunch of aluminium recipes somewhere here. And what are we looking for again? It's aluminium scrap. Okay, those are all my electric recipes. Well, there we go. Scrap, scrap, scrap. No. Here we go. So I am going to need bauxite, water, crude oil, and that is it. Yeah, so that was the recipe I was thinking of that required silica. In case you guys don't know, when you make your aluminous solution, I believe it's aluminous solution. Might be wrong, do correct me if I am. But if you want to use this, the basic recipe means that you produce silica in the refinery as well as aluminous solution, which sounds great. You make silica basically for free, but it means that if I wanted to make 2100 aluminous solution, I would have to use a lot more water and a lot more bauxite, and I don't really want to be wasting bauxite. Additionally, when you do end up making the ingots, you can't just have a 1-to-1 ratio of silica from here going straight into that. No, you actually need more silica still. So either you make a bunch of extra silica, then use the bit of silica from here, then add it into the ingots, which I think means that you have to consume less aluminium, or you just completely chin off the silica, which is what I've done. I don't want to be wasting time on things that don't need me to be wasting my time on. Saying that as I spend over a week on a Fixmas factory, but oh well. So, literally, bauxite, water, crude oil. Okay. Nice. Okay. Is that all of our ingots? No, Fixes. I keep saying Fixmas. Fixmas is the Christmas event in Satisfactory. Or Fixite. Is that what it's called? Fixite. Yeah. There we go. For this one I'm using... Actually, I don't know. I think the better way of me finding out wouldn't be through this tab, it would be through this one. Here we go. Caterium. I'm actually using Caterium. Damn. So to make the ingots, I'm going to need SAM, Caterium, water. Great. Technically, it's a basic. Is it the basic? It's not really a basic or an alternate. There's 3 ways of making it, but there's no actual alternate recipe, so I suppose it is basic, to be fair. Okay. And because it's a basic recipe, it's the exact same name as this, because it's just Fixite. There we go. Have I made a video talking about this? Yes, I know I have. And again, we said it was Sam. We then said it was Tyrion. Or plus water. There we go. That's basically our very first tab. That right there is our first 6 ingots. Now what I'm going to do is copy this down to here and prepare for our next tab, which is minerals, which includes everything that you see here, which is actually quite an important tab. There's some very important resources. Concrete, I know for a fact I use wet concrete, which is water and limestone. Quartz crystals, I use pure quartz crystals. I think it's called pure quartz crystals, which is water and raw quartz. Silica. I've made a video talking about this. I think I'm just using the regular recipe. But there are other ways to make silica. I haven't talked... I think I have talked about that. I don't know if I've put it in this playlist. Let me just very quickly double check with you. No. I'm pretty sure I remember talking about this before though, where I talk a little bit about silica. I'm sure I did mention it in one of these videos somewhere, but I talk about silica and I go over the other recipe, which is fine, but it's very complex and consumes a lot of power. Okay, copper powder, I'm pretty sure there's only one recipe for it. Polymer resin, I don't care much for, I don't think. Petroleum coke, and then aluminium scrap, which I pretty much just talked about. So that's pretty handy. Aluminium scrap consumes the exact same resources as aluminium ingots from the recipe I'm using, which is great. That helps life, so. Brilliant. Right before we do that tab though, let's just do our little color comparison. This little thing right here. So you require copper and water. Does anything here not require water? No. Roger, so let's just... There we go. Anything else require copper? No. You require caterium, which I think is... this. Next we have iron, coal, water. Iron... I think, yeah, you're coal, aren't you? Yep. Iron, coal, water. Then we have bauxite, crude oil, water. Bauxite being this. Lastly, Sam, caterium, water. Caterium, just copy that over here. Sam is that one, yep. Then what I'm going to do is just paste this here. Just so I know it's like a little border. It makes things nice and simple for myself. Jolly good, fantastic. Moving on. Also, I might as well do this. Is this going to look nice? I don't know. Yeah. Okay. That's not too bad. Yeah, the color coding doesn't take very long. Of course, when you've got quite a lot of different raw ingredients, it can take a lot longer. But luckily we don't, so that's brilliant. Change you then to minerals. Starting with concrete, quartz, crystals, or technically quartz crystal, silica, copper powder. Thank you, Windows. Not find any threats. Nice. Petroleum coke. That is not how you spell petroleum. That is how you spell petroleum. Okay, wow. An aluminium scrap. Scab. Deary me. And that would then be it for this little category. So not too bad. Am I the only one that does this, by the way? If you guys are watching the stream, do you do Excel spreadsheets before your current playthroughs? Next category after this will be liquids, but we're going to be on this tab here for a while, I would say. Not for too long. Concrete, I know for a fact, your alternates. Quartz crystal alternate. Silica. Basic. Basic for that. Polymer resin. Ooh, that's a question. No, you're definitely alternate. Yeah, polymer resin alternate. Absolutely. No, I never, ever use the regular for this because it's just not worth it. If I'm making polymer resin, I'm going to do the polymer resin alt because I get far more polymer resin and I also get a little bit of heavy ore residue, which I then turn into petroleum coke, which I then use for aluminium. So, yeah. I don't know why I get really nerdy about this stuff, by the way. Apologies in advance, but I do. Petroleum coke. You have got alternates, right? No, I don't think you do. No, you don't. You're just one basic recipe. Just a pretty chill guy. And then aluminium scrap. I'm pretty sure this is an alternate because I use petroleum coke. There you go. Yes, the electrode aluminium scrap. Okay. So wets, concretes. Have I made a video talking about this? Yes. Well, I've mentioned it in tons of videos, so yeah. Oh, how have I done that? Limestone plus water. I find doing these calculations so enjoyable. I really do. Quartz crystals. I think you're just called pure crystals. Water White would be very happy. Pure crystal. It's actually just called pure quartz crystals. Oh, okay. Pure quartz crystal. Then you just consume. Have I made a video talking about this? Again, I'm pretty sure I have made a video comparing the quartz crystals with that crystal liquid thing. If not, I want to, but I'm pretty sure I have. So why are you so big? Does it say that I haven't though? Let me try and search it. Because again, I'm pretty sure I have. Satisfactory. Silica, quartz, crystal, best recipe. There we go. Okay, I have. It's just not part of the playlist. This one. Is dissolved silica worth it in Satisfactory 1.0? Where I'm pretty sure I came to the conclusion no. Why is there not a lot of people talking about this? That's weird. But there we go, yeah, so. I'm not going mad. I have made a video talking about it, so in that case, yes. Then you require literally just quartz crystal plus water. I don't know what accent I'm trying to do there. It's bad either way. Silica, you're just silica. Yep. You're the exact same. Which is the reason I will almost never make separate silica and quartz crystals factories, because they make two different things using the exact same resources. So I might as well just stick it in the same factory. Often I'll add these two into a factory with other items as well, which I'm pretty sure is what I'm doing this series. Copper powder, yeah. Nice. I haven't made a video talking about this, but what do I say? There's one recipe. I could make a video titled, no, but there's... I don't know. Tips and tricks for copper powder. How to not overbuild copper powder. Because the thing is, whenever people make copper powder, they always have 100 refineries. But is there any way it could be easier? Yes, by using pure copper ingots. But that's not really a video though, me saying use pure copper ingots. Wait, I have to do some research about this. When it comes to copper powder, the only thing you're used to make is nuclear pasta. Nuclear pasta doesn't have an alternate recipe. But the only thing you'll then use to make is singularity cells. You'll then use for other things. So I could say that you don't need to spend so many singularity cells on Fixonium. I do want to make a video talking about this. I really do actually. Let me just get my phone out so I can write down a note of it. But what would it be about? Because I want to try and cover this, I really do. Copper. I typed copper and it came up with a picture of a policeman. Nice. Copper powder. How not to build a factory. There we go. Where I can talk about the pros and cons of copper powder, because this is the exact problem that some people might run into. They look at copper powder, there's one recipe for it. Okay, I'm just going to do the recipe. But no, there's tons of workarounds that you can do to use less copper, things like that. I'm actually then going to highlight to you in a dark red to show that I want to make a video talking about it. Luckily, the resources here will be copper ore plus water. Ooh, that's actually a mistake I did. I didn't put ore at the end of copper there. That's my bad. There we go. Polymer resin. Now, you pretty much just require crude oil. I'm using the polymer resin alternate. I haven't properly made a video talking about this. Is it worth it? Because no, not really. It was used to make plastic, rubber, and fabric. Which plastic and rubber are extremely important. Fabric, I don't think many people particularly care about. I could mention this alternate. But no, not really worth making a video talking about it. I'll say no, but I'm not going to highlight it in red because I'm not really that interested in making a video on it. But you just require, just to double check, you just require crude oil. Yes. Roger. Okay. Nice. That's why I was saying that not all recipes require water, because you physically cannot add water to this recipe. As far as I'm aware, you can't add water to it. Petroleum coke is just petroleum coke. Petroleum coke. Leviosa. Sorry. Wingardium Leviosa, not Petroleum Leviosa, it doesn't matter. Petroleum Leviosa! What's that Harry Potter meme? Petroleum... Oh, it mocks the fuel prices. Can't think of it now. Anyway, it was a good meme, it was a good meme. I haven't made a video talking about petroleum coke. No, do I... Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, I've talked about it. It's something like petroleum expensive or something. I don't know. I've made it sound terrible. It's actually quite a funny joke. Right, so you pretty much require the exact same shenanigans. Like, in fact, no, you are the exact same. You just are. I don't know what your alternate's actually called. Is it soggy? No, sloppy scrap? No, that's the solution. That's sloppy solution. Electrode scrap. It is electrode scrap. I can just double check. Yeah, so when it comes to scrap, when I have a scrap, no, sorry, wow, it was terrible. There's 3 different ways of making it. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned all 3 of these in a video. I've made a very in-depth video talking about all these aluminium recipes. This is the one I like. The basic's fine. I don't recommend this. Save your sulfuric acid. Save your coal. You are consuming a little bit more bauxite, but generally, who gives a damn? Just, yeah. Because here you're making, to be fair, you're making 30 aluminium scrap for 10 coal. Here, times it by 5. Actually, it's the exact same. So you're probably saving a little bit of bauxite, maybe. But is it worth all the power to make the sulfuric acid and then to get the water and transport the liquid? No. Yeah, I've made a video talking about this. Right, time to color code. Color code with the Valhalla pickle. That's the worst, like, theme song you've ever heard in your lives. Yeah, when it comes to water, you're pretty much a yes for everything except for you. Lovely. Okay. Quartz crystal, which is this one. Copper. What's next? Crude oil. Yeah, you're just both crude oil, luckily. Which makes life pretty simple for us. Bauxite, crude oil, water. If I just copy all this over, is this going to work? Sometimes this does... What the hell did I just do there? Sometimes this doesn't work. Yep. Oh, now it did. Okay. And there we go. Back to it. Now we are moving on to liquids. Right. This is going to take some time. I can guarantee it. Because when we have a quick look at liquids, things might look really simple. Water. Well, first of all, my webcam's hiding it. Water, it's just natural resource. Crude oil, natural resource. Heavy oil residue, it's made just from crude oil. Fuel is made from crude oil and water. Liquid biofuel, you can't fully automate it, but it's made from grass, leaves, woods. I never include this. I don't care anything about it. Turbo fuel. I know what I'm doing for turbo fuel. Alumina solution. That's sloppy solution. Sulfuric acid, no idea. Nitric acid, I think I have an idea. Dissolved silica, I'm just chinning off. I don't care for it. I'm not using it. I've made a video talking about it. I'm not using it. I might as well see what recipe is good for it. Doesn't matter. There's only one. Which is nitric acid and... Okay. So let's make a list of everything that I want to try and talk about here. Starting with all this. There we go. Let's continue everything down. No. Aye. Brilliant. What did Harry Potter say when he saw the gas prices were expensive? Expensive petroleum. That's the one. Thank you. Expensive petroleum. But you got what I was trying to say. I just didn't say it. Oh well. So, heavy oil residue. I am using an alternate recipe for this. I am using the heavy oil residue alternate. It's literally called that, I'm pretty sure. Fuel. I am using alternate. It's called residual fuel. Pretty sure. Basically, I've made so many videos where I've talked about this. Use that recipe. Use residual fuel. It combines fuel with water. Is it fuel? Or is it heavy oil residue? This one. Oh, sorry, diluted fuel. Not this. Sorry, don't use this. Use diluted fuel. The reason for this is because it combines heavy oil residue and water. Which means you get way more fuel than if you were to do it with just with heavy oil residue. And the product that you need is water, which is available everywhere. You've probably built, or you should have built, your fuel factory next to a water source, a big water source preferably, like a big lake or the ocean. So yeah, just use that basically. Liquid biofuel, don't care for it. Turbo fuel. I can't tell you if it's an alternate or a basic recipe. Also, oh, okay, there we go. I was gonna say rocket fuel and ionized fuel aren't here. They're part of the gas tab, so don't worry. I will be including them, of course, in today's video. Aluminar solution. And sulfuric acid. I'm pretty sure we have to use sulfuric acid to make our nitric acid. Or am I talking bollocks? I might be talking bollocks. No, no. We definitely did. Ice snow. Yeah. No, we'll find out. Dissolved silica. Might as well include it. Right, if I'm going to do the maths. Grand. You beat the hard level Sudoku on the New York Times website for today. Found it nice. I've tried that. I'm not great at it, but I've given it a shot. And the category after that would be gas, gas, gas. There you go. When you play a video game and you hear the words gas, 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 you think nothing of it. When you're tired, sleep deprived, and all you want to do is go home, and then your corporal shouts at you, gas, 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 you shit yourself. Very different experience. Anyway, heavy oil residue. You... Done. I've definitely made a video talking about this fuel. Yeah. Turbo fuel. Yep. Yep. Genuine question. Have I made a video talking about sulfuric acid? That's a sentence not many people say in their lifetime. Have I made a video talking about sulfuric acid? I feel like I'm one of the few people that have ever said that sentence before. Because you've only got 2 recipes. Oh, well, technically 1. You can't see it because my webcam's kind of in the way. You've got the encased uranium cell where you need to... No, technically it's 1 recipe. That's why I've never made a video talking about it. No. Okay. I'm gonna say yes because... Yeah. Nitric acid. Again, have I made a video talking about nitric acid? I don't think so. Is it worth making a video? Only 1 recipe? So, no. Dissolved silica, I've made a video talking about it. But there's no point. Yeah, there's just no point. Okay, yeah, heavy oil residue. You just require crude oil. Fuel, you require... diluted? Crude oil plus water. Lovely. Turbo fuel. You require a few more items, and I've made a very fundamental mistake with turbo fuel. Let me show you why. So, the recipe that I used personally was this one. The basic turbo fuel recipe. It's the one I used for my last playthrough, and I thought it was very tedious. And wait, no, it wasn't. Was it? I've actually forgotten now. I think I'm actually starting to lose my mind slowly but surely. Wait, am I in Satisfactory for a quick sec? I am. Okay, that's actually quite handy. Let me just save this. This is tomorrow's stream, don't worry too much about it. I was just doing a little bit of work off camera. I swear that's not the recipe for turbo fuel. Am I gonna have it here? Petroleum coke? No. It should be in one of these factories. Maybe here. No. Rocket fuel. Okay, so this is the recipe that I'm using. Oh no, it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can just close that now. Cheers. There we go. So turbo fuel. Is that the basic recipe? No, that's an alternate called turbo blend fuel. Good to know. And what do I need for it? There we go. I'm going to need crude oil as a surprise to no one since it's literally a fuel type. Plus sulfur and petroleum coke. I think I might have misunderstood that when I did this recipe. I did. I put down coal. Not petroleum coke. That massively changes things. I've made so many videos talking about this and no one's commented about it, so it can't be. Where's the blender? That's bad. Yeah, that's not good, really. Right. No. Because that's not the recipe. Oh, right. No, wait. No. I'm looking at a rocket fuel recipe, but I'm talking about turbo fuel. That's why it's different. So my rocket fuel recipe must be correct then. My eye is literally twitching. Yeah, so this is what I did. This is the recipe that I used that I didn't like, and now this is the recipe that I want, which, there we go, that is called. Okay, I was gonna say, I've talked about this so many times, and no one's ever commented saying, oh, your recipe's wrong. No, because I actually got it right, and I was just getting them confused. Welcome, Maga, hope that you're doing well. What video are you talking about? Some of the recipes are only good with alts, but the best turbo fuel recipe was the one from the MAM. Which one did I use? Oh, yeah. I'm not doing turbo fuel. That's why I didn't... Okay, that makes sense. So this recipe here for rocket fuel doesn't require turbo fuel. Now I remember. See, it's been months since I last touched this. I'm trying to remember what I did. I've made a video talking about this. So let me just very quickly double check what I said for that. Although I'm pretty sure I changed my mind, didn't I? Oh no, I think I changed my mind about that one. My keyboard's half broken. Yeah. 32,000 views. Look at this AI ad, by the way. I'm not even sure this. You know what? Screw it. Have you guys seen this ad yet? Coca-Cola doesn't add every single year. But look at this ad. That's different than every other year. It looks good. Obviously not a real polar bear. But this is completely CGI. This is everything here is just AI. This woman here, AI. AI. Completely AI generated people. Completely AI generated background. Completely AI generated again. Look at all those wrinkles. You're 30 something. You should not have that many wrinkles. Completely AI generated background there with a crowd. Fake crowd. AI generated Coca-Cola bottle. AI generated background. See, literally, like, a billion, how many billions of dollars is Coca-Cola worth? And they still do AI. Terrible. It is AI slop. That's the definition of slop. So this is what my results came to. I don't know exactly what recipe I was using. Not a fan of this. Yeah, it's a bit weird. I don't like it personally. I know they were doing it for budget cut reasons, but they're Coca-Cola. Oh well. I don't like the results of any of these. What recipe did I even use here? Okay, right, so I didn't use the correct fuel recipe. Petroleum Coke. That seems really simple to do though. This is the turbo blend fuel. Which is this. I mean, again, I'm actually not doing turbo fuel this season at all, so I probably don't need this. Although no. I might just do the basic one. Because again, I'm not using any of this. Your 22 point... Actually, let's do compact coal. Your 15 compact coal to make 18.75. So you're almost a 1-to-1 ratio. 30 to 30, you are a 1-to-1 ratio. So you're slightly cheaper in regards of compact coal. You're 22.5 to 45. You're actually better. Regarding fuel, you're a 1-to-3 ratio. You're a... Damn. That's dreadful. And heavy oil residue, so you're consuming... Okay, turbo blend fuel is the best. For my 5 seconds of looking, I'm just going to say turbo blend fuel. Oh, that's literally what I wrote here. Sound. Okay. So that's fuel, which is just crude oil, and heavy oil residue, which is crude oil, sulfur, and petroleum coke. Wait, that's it. Because petroleum coke is... Wait, okay. Fuel is water and crude oil. Heavy oil residue is crude oil. Petroleum coke is crude oil. So it's literally crude oil plus sulfur. And some water. That's a pretty good recipe. What did I use before? I know that the recipe that I used before... It definitely had fuel in it. And... What else? It might have been compact coal. I'm trying to think what did I do for the last playthrough. Because I remember that the rocket fuel thing that I built was huge. I think it was compact coal, yes. So I did the basic recipe. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I didn't like it. Okay. In conjunction with rocket fuel, yeah, I mean, you can do whatever you feel comfortable with, I think. Well, I know. Alumina solution, this is a alternate called sloppy solution, which I believe requires... Let me just double check. So the basic is literally just bauxite and water, whereas this is also bauxite and water, but I don't make silica, and I need less bauxite and a lot less water to get the same amount of aluminium. So this just saves resources for a resource I don't want, which is fantastic. Wait, no, it saves resources from resources that I need, rather than making a resource I don't want, is the better way of phrasing that. So, bauxite plus water. Sulfuric acid, I'm pretty sure you just have one recipe. That's what we were saying earlier. So do you, so do you. In that case, there we go. You require just that. You require iron. I'm just remembering off the top of my head here. Iron, water, nitrogen gas. No. There we go. I will double check. Yeah, the sloppy solution's great. So, sulfuric acid, just to double check. Yep, there's only one recipe for it. Sulfur and water, nitric gas. Sorry, nitric acid, which is iron plate, iron, water, nitrogen gas. Great. And then the last one is dissolved silica, which is just raw quartz and whatever it is for nitric acid. Okay. Hello? Brilliant. Okay. Now let's do our very quick little color palette thing, which makes sense, I think. It makes sense to me, so to me, to you. There, you're just going to shoot straight down. So are you. Right, starting with... Can't see that. There we go. Heavy oil residue, which is just crude oil. Your old crude oil there as well. Anything else with crude oil? Nope. Water is everything from here downwards? Yeah. Sulfur. Are you sulfur? No, you're limestone. Where the heck is sulfur? I haven't used sulfur yet. Damn. Wait, did I not get these the other way around? I did. I knew it. Okay, so yeah, you're limestone, then you are the father. No, you're sulfur. Just this one. There we go. Next, we got some bauxite action going on. Wahey. Followed by some more sulfur. Damn. Then some iron, nitrogen gas, and water. Iron, nitrogen gas is you. Yep. My two brain cells were really struggling to remember if that was correct or not. Luckily it is. Then finishing off with some raw quartz. Petroleum, aluminium for batteries. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple decent recipes for aluminium, I think. The one that I'm doing is this. So it's alclad aluminium sheets, wire, plastic, sulfur. It just seems like such an easy recipe. And it's relatively cheap, because bear in mind, this is 1,000 batteries. Why am I making 1,000 batteries? I hate myself. And the resources required is 700... Really? No. I'm gonna double this. I'm pretty sure I had this exact same problem the last time I touched this. Anyway, it's... Yeah, might as well just double it. If I double it now, will it take ages just to do? No. So to make 1,000 batteries, it's 1,750 bauxites, 175 cancel, 1,000. Oh, you guys get the gist. It's cheap, kind of. Double this, 1,500 sulfur, a bit less. I know 4,000 water is quite a lot, but it's water. 1,680 crude oil. 920 iron ore, 240 copper, and 1,768 bauxite. So it's not. Was that even correct there for the maths of that? Probably. I think so. Anyway, where was I? Nitrogen gas. Water, done, iron. Dun 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 dun. Now let's actually move over to the gas. In this tab, we've only got a couple items, but some of these are going to take up quite a long time, unfortunately, to try and do. Nitrogen gas, which is the one right below my webcam. It is what it is. Rocket fuel, that's going to take ages. Same. Actually, no. It won't take that long to do rocket fuel. We are using the alternate. I've actually got a bit of a story about rocket fuel. So, when I made this, I used the basic recipe. I used turbo fuel and nitric acid. You guys saw my turbo fuel recipe. It wasn't very good originally. I've changed it now and it's better now. But I did not enjoy making this. Whereas now I'm using this. The nitro rocket fuel. And it's really good. I think I've made a video talking about this. We'll very quickly double check. Never mind, I got rid of the tab where I could have easily checked, so I'm not going to check. Oh well, I can check later. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So let's just write down all the gases then. Starting with when the website chooses to load. Nitrogen, yeah, there's no point, it's just a raw resource. Rocket fuel. Ionized fuel. Dark matter residue. How do I talk about that? Because there's so many different ways to make it. I suppose just reanimated Sam. Even though it's very expensive. But you get it as a byproduct from all of this as well, so what do? Do I just... I'm gonna say reanimated Sam, just for the sake of simplicity. There we go. Then, excited photonic matter, there's no point me talking about it, because you just plop down a building and it makes it for you. It's a raw resource, pretty much. And the tab after... Okay, the tab after this is where things start to get interesting. Very interesting. There we go. We're gonna bash you for it. Oh, thank you. So, regarding rocket fuel, we've already talked about this. We use an alternate called nitro rocket fuel. Great. Where we are consuming... Have I made a video talking about this? Best believe I think I have. No, yeah, I must have. Yeah, no, I definitely have. Okay. Fuel, which is crude oil. Plus nitrogen gas. Plus sulfur. Plus water. I think that's, like, considering it's rocket fuel, this is not supposed to be easy to make. Yet the reason why I love this recipe so much is because look at what you have to try and use for this. Let me just try and zoom in here for you guys. Let me try and convince you why this recipe is goated. There we go. It requires fuel, which is literally just a bit of crude oil and water mixed together with some heavy oil residue, all that sort of stuff. Nitrogen gas, a raw resource. Sulfur, a raw resource. And coal, a raw resource. Not to mention you get compact coal back. And because you're not using compact coal to make the rocket fuel, you can't just re-add it back into the cycle and you can't break it down. But you can just shoot it off to a coal generator, for example. And just get a bunch more power from that. It really is, like, it's a good recipe. Yeah. One of our favorites? Yeah, it's fantastic. Ionized fuel. I'm probably not making this, by the way. I don't think I'm doing ionized fuel. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely not doing this. There's two recipes. I think I've talked about this. There's rocket fuel combined with power shards, which you can only get towards extremely late game. Then there's packaged rocket fuel combined with dark matter crystals. I just don't even want to compare it, really. I'm not doing any of these. And the main reason why I'm not doing this, because I've made a video talking about it, the amount of power that you have to consume to make ionized fuel is actually making you lose power, I think it was. Like, just the actual, like, this part of the ionized fuel recipe, you're going negative power-wise. You consume so much power, you lose it. You lose some. If I remember correctly. You may sink the power shards into ionized fuel. If you're making them and you have nothing to do with it, yes. Or nothing to do with them. I'm gonna go for the alternate. Wait, how much? Wait. It seems like quite a lot of packaged rocket fuel. But this is a 1-to-1 ratio. This is a almost 1-to-1 ratio. You have to consume a little bit more. Then dark matter crystals, you can make just with dark matter residue. So it's technically rocket fuel plus dark matter residue. So I'll go for the alternates, but again, I'm not using this, so I mean, I don't really massively care. It's the nicest way of me putting it. Dark iron fuel. I've made a video talking about it. Yes, I've made a video talking about ionized fuel. What was he called again? Dark matter. Then dark matter residue is made from SAM. Got there in the end. Yeah, absolutely just not doing this. Please let me just copy this over. I'm not asking for rocket science here. Thank you. Oh, I didn't even... SAM plus crude oil plus nitrogen gas plus sulfur plus water. Okay, great. Using the alien power matrix ionized pays for the process. Yeah, I mean, it seems simple. In my mind, it's easier, probably more expensive, but just to turn SAM, the reanimated SAM, to dark matter residue, then combine that with rocket fuel, which you should already be making. That is it. And you can probably make the dark matter crystals in the space of 10 minutes? Compared to the power shards, which require so many more resources. And probably takes you a day worth of playing to make. So, yeah. Now, regarding the actual dark matter residue, this is the recipe I'm going to be going for. Well, I'm just going to be using alternate recipes, or... Sorry, not alternates. I'll be making my dark matter residue as a byproduct from all of these other items. But if I was to make it without that, the only thing I can go for here is the dark matter residue with the reanimated SAM. So, yeah. It's technically a basic recipe. Have I made a video talking about this? Yeah, kind of. And the only thing that you're requiring is SAM. Okay, so this next tab is quite a bit more confusing than what we just had, which is fine. What time is it? We've been live now for over an hour, damn. I'll definitely be doing one more of these streams sometime, maybe Monday? We'll see how things go. Tomorrow, I want to go back to like regular Satisfactory stuff because I quite enjoy that. But then this has to be done though, so it's, you know. Not compatible with this format. What format? It's Excel. I've not done anything special. Okay. Crude oil. Nitrogen gas. Sulfur. Lots of sulfur in these last couple of recipes, by the way. I'm not concerned about it, but I wouldn't say I love the amount of sulfur that I'm using. Although, to be fair, no, that makes sense, because sulfuric acid also goes into turbo blend fuel, which then sulfuric acid also goes into... No, it doesn't. Just regular sulfur is going into this. And that's going back into that. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then just add the SAM. Brilliant. How simple can life be? Then just continue this all the way down. Brilliant. Okay, standard parts. This category includes a lot of things. Iron rods, screws, iron plates, reinforced iron plates, all of this stuff. All of it I want to produce. Some of it I don't massively care about. Fabric being pretty much the main one of them. What's after this? Industrial parts. This is where things start to get quite technical. But oh well. Still got a long ways to go, damn. I don't care about any of this, although when it comes to canisters, like, there's a lot of ways to make canisters. Plastic's the most obvious one, I'd say. Although, I've probably used all of these. Isn't there one more? There's 3 here, I thought there was 4. Clearly not. I've used all of them at one point or another. Although, if I was to make one for our next playthrough... Making loads of plastic. To be fair, I might just stick with a plastic basic. Because it's too plastic to make 4 canisters. It's a 1:2 ratio. Make 30 per minute. It's just not bad. What is that? Production planner. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'm such a menace, honestly. Menace to society. Do I care about any of this stuff? Compact coal, yes. Uranium fuel rod, yeah. I'm not doing ammo. I don't care about ammunition. This it's gonna take ages. Oh my goodness gracious, we're nowhere near done. We've barely scratched the surface, really. I mean, it doesn't take me to tell you that there's a lot of items in this game. Luckily, this shouldn't be too difficult because I kind of know most of what I'm doing here. There we go. Plastic, steel, and copper sheet, yeah. I don't know why I thought it was for. There we go. Copper sheets there as well. Alclads. Aluminium sheets. His names are getting longer and longer. Steel pipe. Steel beam. I don't think I'm using many steel beams in this playthrough. In fact, I'm barely using any if I can remember correctly. In case industrial beam. There we go. Modular frame. Heavy modular frame. No, don't do that. Just because you've done that. There we go. I'm that lazy, by the way. I know I can just type it out in the time that I'm copying and pasting this. But again, just... yeah. Fixite. Trigon. Isn't there just one recipe for the Trigon? I'll find out in a sec. I'm pretty sure you just use the fixite ingots to make the Trigons, do you not? There we go, yeah, so we are about to be covering a lot of items right now. And the category after this is... not too bad. There's a lot of items here, but they're all pretty self-explanatory. Iron rods, I am using... basic? Yeah. Yeah, oh, definitely, actually. Basic. Screws, alternates, iron plates, yep. Pretty sure I am using an alternate for reinforced iron plates. Yeah, I'm using stitch iron plates. Yep. So, basic, you're just iron rods then, aren't you? Same here. So the only thing you require is iron ore plus water. I mean, pretty much everything here except for the last few requires a lot of iron and water. Copper sheets doesn't require iron and water, it's copper and water, but oh well. Screws is... cast screws. Again, fan favorite when it comes to alternate recipes. Reinforced iron plates is ditched. I would say this is pretty much a fan favorite as well. Copper sheets. I am using steam sheets, which is copper plus water. Ironclad aluminium. Split. Sheets. Holy sheets. Yes, I've got the humour of a 2-year-old. Bauxite, water, crude oil, copper. There we go. Which is an alternate? Nice. Oh. Oh, yeah, that's just one recipe for it. I forgot. Add that into here. Haven't made videos talking about these. I suppose, yeah, I've mentioned them quite a lot. Yep. Great. Alkali using copper ingots and aluminium both could use water. They do, yes. Yep. Aluminium casing. Pretty much the exact same thing. Bauxite, water, crude oil, copper. Bauxite, water, crude oil. Yeah. Okay. If it's aluminium, I've talked about it in the video. I don't know if that's an alternate though. It is. It's called alkali casing. Don't do that. Steel pipe, definitely. I'm using iron pipe. Have a guess, it just requires iron and water. I've mentioned this before, yep. Nice, thanks. There we go. Steel beam, I think you're the molded one, aren't you? To be fair, the molded pipe's pretty good as well, I just don't use it. Because I prefer iron pipe. You're going to be iron, ore, plus coal, plus water. Encased industrial beam, yep, I use the encased... Encased what? Industrial pipe, that's the one. I knew it was something pipe. Really good recipe. Talked about this one before. Then you use limestone plus steel pipe, which is iron and water. So lime plus iron plus water. Great. Modular frame. I use bolted, I think. Genuinely, what do I use? Because I remember bolted being decent. Wrong one. Wait, do I not just use regular modular frames for anything? All of my modular frames go straight into heavy modular frames, apparently. Right. Reinforced iron plates, steel pipe. Steel wood frame, okay. I've talked about this. And you're pretty much just iron and water. Heavy modular frame. I love this recipe. Heavy encased frame. I have mentioned this so many times in videos. You are literally just limestone plus iron ore plus water. I'm pretty sure. Heavy encased frame. Modular frame, which is just iron and water. Encased industrial beam, which is just iron and water and concrete. Iron and water. Limestone. Sorry, limestone, not concrete. Well, yeah, both, but limestone is the raw resource. Good. Fused modular frame is a slightly different story. And I haven't got a Scoobies, which one I actually use. If I was to have a very quick glance at this, I would say the basic recipe. However, where would I need to use this? Pressure conversion cube. Oh, okay. I know exactly where this is going to be. That's radio control units. That's fused modular frame. So it's the one that's heavy modular frame, aluminium casing, nitrogen gas. Yeah. It's a basic one. Steel frame is good. Yeah, I quite like it. I think that bolted frame is quite popular, but the reason why I've gone with this is because I've calculated personally that it's easier for me to do. It's cheaper, I think. Hammer-wise, I believe I save resources as well. If I remember correctly. Again, it's been months since I've last done this, so if I don't remember a couple things, forgive me. Right, you consume quite a lot of resources, don't you? So first of all, everything from Hobby, just take me out by a sniper at this point, honestly. Heavy modular frames, plus everything over from aluminium as well, which is going to be bauxite, plus water, plus crude oil, plus copper, I think. No. Okay. Wait, what? I think that's right. Bro. Let me just double check now that I'm gonna second guess myself. Yeah, that's right. Fixite Trigon. This is quite an interesting one. It's just fixite ingots. Okay. Right. I hope this is going to save, by the way. I'm actually going to be pissed if this doesn't save. We've only been live for about an hour and a half. I want to try and finish this tab and maybe just do some Satisfactory stuff today. Definitely talked about this. Basic, it is. Fabric, I'd be lying if I said I even cared. You have to do the alternate, otherwise you can't automate it. Yep. Alternate's called polyester fabric. Fabric. Did I say fabric or fabric? I don't know. Haven't made a video talking about this. No. Do I want to? Not particularly. There we go. It makes it sound like I hate it. I don't hate it. I just don't care for it. And plastic and rubber, it is recycled plastic and recycled rubber. There we go. I've definitely made videos talking about these lots. And you just require crude oil and water. There's quite a few items that just require crude oil and water. Isn't there? You got fabric, that's just crude oil and water. Plastic, rubber. And I suppose, yeah, well, yeah. You can still burn fabric and biomass burners. You could do, but you're also using crude oil to make it, so I don't know if it's really worth your time. Yeah. But there we go. So that's what I wanted to try and get done today. Let me just very quickly check that if I am to save this, if I was just to load it up again, that everything that I've just done saved. It is. Okay, great. So now let's actually move on to some Satisfactory. Take a bit of a break from that. There we go. Today's stream is going to be a little bit shorter than usual because it's a bit of a later stream and it's quite a lot of mathematics, bruv. But overall, the flow of today's stream has been pretty good. Luckily, when it comes to the bigger recipes, because I've done all my calculations for it, all I've got to do, rather than going through every single recipe and questioning, have I done this? Have I not done this? What am I going to do? Do I have to do it right? Do I have to do it wrong? Have I done... All I have to do is just look at the recipe, look at the resources that I'm needing, and that's pretty much it. I can make an educated guess from there on out. Yeah, so off camera, I started to make a bunch of these Fixmas ornament bundles, I believe is their official name. Which is fine. I don't need them now, though. You've made a little dismantle crate. Damn. Did not think there was that much stuff, but there we go. Great. I suppose let me just try and dump this out now. I could go looking for Mercer spheres, but I'd rather do some actual building today. So let's build a wall. With the best wall, but I want to try and build a wall around here if I can. Where am I going? Oh yeah, here. Just to dump all of our Fixmas stuff. There we go. So everything that I actually think I might need, I'm going to chuck over here. Same with that. I shouldn't need anything else. Let's do it. The sledgehammers. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a good little sledgehammer every now and then. That's what it's made for. Ow. That wasn't fantastically planned there by me. I'm surprised I've got so many power shards on me. Like, we're literally overflowing with power shards. Because we have 64 sat in there. That's pretty good. I'd rather have too much than too little, especially when it does come to power shards. There we go. Great. I might even try and do something about this today as well, because I'm still not a massive fan of how it looks at all. Let's go. So, what is my actual plan for what I'm trying to do now? haven't really got one. Which is like really reassuring to hear, I'm sure. So, well, I suppose I kind of do. I want to try and extend this wall around here. And around there. You're gonna have to go. The wall, should I try and make this wall in the blueprint designer? Is it really worth it to make it the blueprint designer? I don't... Yeah, because I'll be doing the other side as well, so maybe it will be. Right. To be fair, I haven't actually plopped down the blueprint designer now in almost 2 entire hours, so I think that's pretty good. How tall are you? 8. And 2 of you. 1 of you. I think goes around about there. A couple of these on top. Okay. This is easy. Yeah, it's definitely right. I'm sorry, I'm just a bit starstruck by the fact I'm getting this correct. Then 1 of you lot. Right there. Repeat the same thing over on this side. I don't think we're going to be spending too long on this. That's a bad place to lose power, by the way. No. Can I try and continue the power out here somewhere? I mean, not really. I suppose I can. Yeah. That will help for now. There we go. Zoop you up by a couple. And straight down to there. Same with you. Great. Now you are built in the correct location. You are. Congratulations. You haven't entirely pissed me off. Why are you not the same as that? There we go. Welcome back, Rebel Duster. That you're doing good. I maybe don't want to do that wall. Because then these will be overlapping with each other, and I don't really want that. That's fine, I think. The only changes I've got to try and do down to this side by adding in these. Love the build, thank you. Yeah, it's coming together slowly, very slowly but surely. Not really a blockade though, it's more of a there we go. Now I can clear this. And now let's just see how far back we can go, starting from here. Is that out by a full foundation? I think so. Yeah, it's close enough. Right. So you'll be going back to around about here. Same thing with you. Actually, I think I want you all to come forwards by 1, don't I? Yeah. I definitely do. So you're going to be there. And continue this out. So around about here as well. Why is there such a massive gap there? Let's not do that. In fact, I know why exactly there's a massive gap there, but oh well. There. Yeah, this is pretty much exactly where I want this to go. And just continue this. The thing is, I still don't necessarily know how far back I actually want to try and go with this. I think it's going to look fine when that's connected to all of that. In fact, yeah, that would look pretty dapper. I think I want the miners to be in front of this wall. But this wall will just go all the way back around there. I don't know what it looks like from the other side just yet, but it doesn't really matter. It will look fine. There we go. Okay, I can't do a foundation there, unfortunately. What I'll do is what I did like over here. I'm not going to turn this into a blueprint, I'll just build this out by hand. By the time that I've talked about some rubbish, I've pretty much already finished building it. Perfect. Great. Same thing here with you. Yep. Nope. That's better. I suppose I could use a couple more of you lot here now. Yeah, the build is coming together. It's just really annoying because I feel like it's still missing something. Every time I log on, I feel like, yeah, this is okay, but it needs this, it needs that, it needs the other, which gets annoying after a while. We'll get rid of this. I think you're going to loop around there, aren't you? I think that's the... I don't know what the plan is. I don't know what I'm doing. What I do know, though, is that this is working. So, let's stick with it. Even though it doesn't actually line up properly, which is kind of annoying. Oh, the second I clicked it, it misaligned. That's always fun. There we go. So you're off by how much? Almost half a foundation. Right. That's weird. There we go. Luckily, you shouldn't be too difficult, in theory. Right, oh. Maybe I want both of you to go, actually. That's fine. Because I'm not necessarily building these two with a perfectly snapped grid, it does make it a little bit more challenging. But I think what we've done is fine. Over here, for example, this is just going to come straight down. I've got no plans for building anything regarding this waterfall, just... yeah. I'm never going to see it, so there's no point. Go. And you're going to come straight down as well. These should be a little bit easier to do, hopefully. Yeah, definitely. All of them continue around here. In fact, oh, I think I've actually got to try and do this corner myself. Oh no. Tragedy. I've got to build something using my own hands? What? Then buy... Oh, okay. Which means I can't actually get rid of this tree as of right now. That's completely fine. We'll get rid of it eventually when I've got the appropriate resources to. That's my excuse. That's why I didn't do it. Completely intentional. Can I not have that screen? Hello? Okay, my game's kind of bugged, so that's fine. Actually, no, I can't do that there, can I? No. Oh well. Actually, yeah, it would be a lot easier just to place down these blueprints, so one there, one here. Let's see if this is going to be any easier for us. Plot twist, it will be. Great. That just saves us a little bit of time, basically. No, don't lose power there. I think I'm gonna have to try and bring some power into here. Because if I do lose power over this, it's not great for us. There we go. Right, then just zoop you straight down. Again, am I ever actually going to be seeing this? No, but if I know that I've left it out on purpose... Oof. That would be bad. Make some compromises around here. Same thing here with you lots. Oh yeah, you guys are actually grey because I didn't... Wait, are you? Yeah, I think you're black. There we go. Yeah, because I haven't unlocked carbon fiber by this point. Or at the point that I was originally making this blueprint, should I say. Wait. Yeah, when I was doing this, not making the blueprint. I was gonna say I just made the blueprint today. So. Oh well. Yeah, how's everyone doing at home, by the way? Hope that everyone's doing good. Thank you for the... Oh, we've got a couple people watching. That's extremely kind. Thank you. I appreciate giving me your time this evening. Another ad. Nice. Brilliant. I might even just move you over a little bit, I think. That would make a little bit of sense. What just happened there? Did I unlock it by accident? Whoops. And bring you straight down to, I think, that level there. Then what I could do is, again, nudge you here a little bit, bring you down to here. Perfect. Same thing then now with this. And bring you over to here. You kind of line up. Shame about the Z snapping there, but it's not the end of the world. I don't like how you're continuing through that, or how you're here. So can I get rid of this? Yes, I can. Brilliant. Get some resources back. Get a refund. Brilliant. Maybe let's plop this down first. Just so we can be fully confident that I have built it in the right area. Well, I don't think I can be fully confident with some of my builds, but we'll try to be as confident as one can be. Okay, now we'll focus a little bit more on this side. Which doesn't really need too much work. Rid of that. I need one more over here. Not too far down. That would do. So the reason as to why I've built this wall here is because I feel like it adds just a little bit more elevation, which I quite like. It's not going to win any awards for looking beautiful. But that's okay. Why are you painted pink? I don't know. Yeah, this just continues the wall around here. I quite like that. I don't like how open this corner here looks. So I suppose we can go with some vents along here. That is in the architecture tab. There we go. I know this is a fan, not a vent, but yes. Good enough. Now, regarding you, you're going to come out by a little bit and preferably just straight around the back of these lots. And then somewhere, I suppose. Remember to move it later. Sometimes I do that, but for this instance, there's no reason why that's pink. And why is there a little gap there? I know why. Okay. Rotate you around. I knew there would be a bit of a gap there. I remembered there was a gap, and now I remembered it's because the blueprint rotated itself. There we go. Problem solved, problem avoided. Now you're going to come out by a couple more. Okay, I don't think you can come out by any more now, can you? No. Which means that the pathway is going to be going into the rock a little bit. Wait. Ooh. Actually, we might just about be okay. It's a pretty close call, but you know what? I think it works. There we go. Oh, you snapped the 1 second that you moved. Brilliant. Now I think I have to rotate you around. Let's see. Is that lined up properly? Yeah, it is. Look how close it is to the wall. But I have to do that, otherwise this will just be going into the rock. Just work on this very quickly. And this time when I say the words very quickly, I actually meant it. That was rapid. As an eyelash falls into my eye. Ow. Bloody hell. Ow. Bloody eyelash. That's fine. No. We weren't too far away. And what we're going to do, again, back into this tab. Large fan. Large fan. Oh, bro, this eyelash. It's stabbing me. The average London experience, anyway. Put down a few more of these. Okay, you are actually going to go through here, which is unbelievably frustrating. Oh well. I can try and do something here to make it look a bit more presentable. That's fine. Now, when it comes to this, what I'm going to do is remove you, because I don't need you there. Actually, no, you look fine there. You look fine. Now, I suppose I just bring the wall around these rocks. That would make sense to my pea-sized brain. Bro, this eyelash, holy crap. Ow. I always get eyelashes in my eye, always, but it's like this literally feels like I'm being stabbed in the eye. Like it literally feels like I'm being stabbed. Well, not literally, that would hurt a lot more, but it's like it didn't go in flat, it went in straight. Oh well, that sums up my day, to be fair. Sums it up pretty good. Oh, but, see, this is what I mean. It's just... Okay, fine. This gives us the opportunity to come back over here and just reflect on what I've managed to build. Looks fun. With an eyelash. It has to be with an eyelash, yes. This is fine. Yeah, this is okay. Because rather than it just going straight into a little bit of grass, at least now it's slightly more built up. Which is fine. I feel like it does need something, though. Like it needs a second tower. I'm not going to do a second tower. No. But that's what it kind of needs, though. Should I do it? No. Should I like it? No. What if I added the train station here instead? And I brought it all the way around this building. But then the problem would be, if the train station started somewhere, let's say here, it would just go straight into that rock. And it's going to be in that sort of height as well, so it's going to be here, which is massive. But it could be what this area needs, rather than hiding it around there. But then what about the rock? Have it go through the rock like it's some sort of portal? Hmm. What design can I use for that then? There is a design that I'm currently going with in Minecraft, but let's see if it works here. Between the building and the rock. What, here? It's too big. If I was to go into here, at least I can build something up that can look quite nice. Let me just try and finish this first of all. Then we can get into towers. Bean! I'm going to play a bit of a prank here on this bean. Now, this bean isn't actually going to die, because they can fall from very high up and survive. Okay, well that was not as... Right, bean. We're trying to show them that you don't die from fall damage. Thank you. Screw it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure beans, like, don't die from fall damage. I maybe fit in a couple more of these blueprints. Let's see. No. I had it on blueprint mode, then it didn't actually snap to any blueprints. That's always really fun. It's all good there. Bring you around. Suppose I don't actually need all this now, do I? That looks fine. I can't really go out by too far. We'll go out to around about here. There we go. Same thing now with the rest of these. Then do one more. Right there. But again, you can't really go down by too much further now. Don't lose power. Do not lose power. Not here. Not now. Good. I was hoping that would be the case. Yeah, I'm trying to use the rock as part of the wall. Yeah. I mean, it did what I wanted it to do. Whether it looks nice, I don't know, but it worked. Again, am I ever actually going to see that part of the map? Eventually, actually, yeah, but not for a very long time. It's a good view from out here, though. It's a bit foggy, and of course, it's looking over a desert, a rocky desert, but it doesn't look too bad. If that was grass, though, whew. Why are you there? Just there, aren't you? Just, yeah. Right, yeah, you can probably come forwards by just about one more, I would say. And you can go here. There we go. Now, I don't want to build the train station today, but I suppose I might as well just double check where exactly do I want the train station to actually be. Because now it might be moving. Then you're just going to go straight into there. That's the end of that then. Beautiful. This can all then go. This barrier has been here for a very long time. Good that it's finally going though. I didn't know where it was going to end. I just kept on building and building. Okay, then chuck that into there. Same with you lot. Down here. You're already done. Grand. Then get rid of that and replace it with you. Do you line up? No, I mean, you weren't. I wasn't really intending for you to line up, so that's fine. It adds no, like, it literally adds nothing if it's lined up or not. Sometimes I do want things to line up because it just looks nicer. Other times it's so irrelevant, it's kind of pointless. Sorry, I was just thinking there for a second. Regarding the train. What if I was to bring the train around here? No, what's the point of that then? Because where's that going to go? A secret factory, but there's... That requires a different train though. No. If I was to build the train station over the waterfall, I think that could look quite nice. With potentially some sort of foundation to at the bottom, I don't know though. So the actual dimensions is going to be roughly something like this. I think. Because the train station's large, but it's not this large. Okay, maybe it is. Sorry. Wow. And of course it will be built a lot higher up, by the way. This is just an example. Okay. I quite like this. In fact, I really like this. I think. I don't know. I might like it. Because as of right now, you'll be coming out roughly here. If I was to nudge you a little bit, so that you're coming out... Where would it be? Here. We can then have a nice little gap between this actual path and this, but then you... could build it on stilts. I was thinking of doing some sort of archway. I can show you... I suppose I want to try and do it today, why not? Yeah, this is what I'll be building it from. Oh, there's not enough room to place this thing down now. I'll make room. There we go. Thank goodness for the vertical nudge. Really is a life changer. There we go. So in total this thing's going to be 5 will go 6. And do a 3 and 3. And how tall is it going to be? Just using these. Because it has to be built on the same level as this train station. Starting from this level. About 12. Right. Yeah, it's 12. It's slightly off, but 12 will be correct. Although I can't actually build it 12 high, can I? Because of the limit for the blueprint. I could do 2 separate well, technically 4. No, it would be 2 separate ones. So, you're 10. What I'm going to do is this. 8. Then you're going to go up here like so. Let's get some lights on. Carbon, why not? Do that. So those would be the first two little stilts, I suppose. I want to have a 1 gap or a 2 gap. Because in theory, how far back can I make this? 7, maximum 7. I want some sort of path going around there. And also, I might have to nudge you forwards a little bit. Actually... Let's see. There. Kind of. Here. Yeah. So then this would actually be okay. It should be fine. You will then be this. Just like so. Nope, thank you. And in the middle here, what I'm going to try and do is this. There will be gaps. I don't think that's a massive problem, because all I have to do now, if I can at least, is this. Of course, it's going to be a little bit difficult, that's fine. As moderator in your chat, that's all good. Don't worry about it. Simulator games. Welcome to the stream, though. Welcome to the stream. So that could be a design. Could be a design. And if I go onto signs, if I just try and do something inside of here, just experimenting. Somewhere there. Haven't I already? Yes, these. This is the same sort of colour I want to try and go for if we can. That would be quite nice. There we go. I think a 2 gap might make a little bit more sense. So what I'm going to do is this. I'll just focus on one of these towers. Pillars. Then just copy it over, basically, when I'm done. Like that. Not a massive fan of this. So let's get rid of that. And this. You poking out the side there? No. Good. Okay. You can remain there in the middle, I suppose. There's no reason why not. In fact, yes there is, because I don't like it. What I might have to do is actually get rid of all that and add in a large sign. There. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to be real quick about this. We're going to go load preset, orange, done. Layouts, text only, glossy, 3, delete text, backgrounds, square, color, black, paste. Did that even save the background? Apparently it did. I can't see the background at all. Oh, there we go. Thank you. The gods clearly heard me there. And when it comes to you, you are not the father. Sorry, that's the second time I've made that joke now. You know, but it does come to you though. Back by around about 2. And how am I going to do this? In a nice way. I know how I can do it, but how do I want to do it? I could leave it as an empty sort of shape, potentially. Let me just save this first of all. Everything around here good. It's a very, very basic design. I don't know what else I can really do with it. I suppose what I could do is this. Where is it? Every now and then, add a couple of these. I don't know why, but they look alright. If I was to do it every 2 foundations, actually, how would that look? 1, 2, so I'll have to lower you down a little bit. But at least that makes a bit more sense, rather than just randomly placing it down. Can go up by a couple more. No. No. Never thought this would be the most difficult part about it. Why did I start my stream so late? I am literally on the edge of falling asleep. Which sucks. I'm actually invested in this project now. I'm going to call you Train Station 001. With a... How much progress did I lose? How much was it? Let's call you Train Station 001. What I meant to select was change color. That's brilliant. Now let's just do this again. Which luckily, now that I know what I'm doing, it shouldn't be that bad. In theory. There we go. And one more up here now as well. Now I can properly save you. Overwrite that. leave a 2 gap, which would be something. Actually, I don't think I should. No. I might have to add the sign to this other side now as well. Because I'm going to have a couple of these inner sort of pillars. Let's see. So if I was just to try and plop you down. Somewhere up here. Must be placed in line of an... Oh. That's 9. 12. Oh, we're so close to being on the right level. Come on. There we go. And somewhere back over here is the plan. I think. But then I said that I wanted to try and hug it a little bit closer to the path. So quite frankly, I don't know where this is going to go. I can place it here though. If I really wanted to, and I kind of do. Okay. So for example, this would then go somewhere here. Oh, no, you're sorry, you're going to go underneath, sorry. Like this. Something like that. Right now it's not perfectly spaced out, which is fine. So you are going to have signs on both sides of the wall there, I would say. But as of right now, it looks very similar-ish to one another. So if there was a way I can maybe remove that, and instead just go with one of these. Which would then mean that we're going to have 8? No, 7. Please. 7. No, technically 8, because you'll be there. Yeah. 8. Minus the 3 foundations that you're on, that's 5. So a 2.5 foundation gap in between both of you. 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. So I can fit it into a blueprint if I really wanted to. Which will then go up by a little bit more. Then what am I going to have on the inside? Just, well, the arch. Yep. So you need to go up by another 4, roughly. If I chop the top bit off... no, I can't, because then you'll be in the way. Okay. So this is where I want to actually try and start the arch. The marble arch. And it's going to look a little bit like this. Nice and simple. A lot of my builds are just very simple, but I just try to make it look fancy. Which is what most things in life are, to be honest. Simple. We can start with that. That will then continue somewhere up there. You're not lined up properly. I don't even know how. I'll do that now in just a sec. You'll then continue. Are you even lined up properly? Yeah, kind of. Good enough for now. Of course, this is just our little planning phase. I am going to do this in much greater detail in just a moment. Well, actually, no, sorry. Tomorrow I'm doing it in greater detail. Or the day after. One of the days. So what I'll do is this. Which will then complement that and that. You'll then go straight down here to the other side. Don't know how far back it's going to be just yet. But we're going to have these walls repeating. I think we'll end up looking alright. Oh, you're already there. Have you hanging off a little bit? You can then be carbon steel, why not? Carbon steel concrete. It will look quite nice eventually when I add some sort of wall here. Yes. Roughly here. No, back by one. Yep. Do I want to change the colour of you? I think, yeah, a greyish sort of colour. So it would end up looking a little bit like that for now. You're not built on the right level, are you? No. There we go. So having that on that side, and repeating it over there as well, would look interesting. I've almost finished the design. Might as well just finish it now, but no. So I'm then going to try and do is this. There we go. And select that. Never mind. Back by a few. So around about here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll then continue. You'll then continue. Then back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go. Like that. I do realise I've literally almost finished it. Well, I've almost finished the concept behind it. That could end up looking quite nice. If I end up painting this. Like that. Then in the middle of all of these blueprints, continuing our little blue theme. Why have I got a blue theme? Yeah. Okay, but genuinely, I don't want to actually do any more of this, because I've got an entire stream coming out to where I actually improve on this little train station. But just looking from it a little bit further back, I think we'll end up looking fine. I do want to try and incorporate a few of the colours I've used over here. But here. The blue is fine. I think a bit more of that kind of blue. Where can I even add that? Where would that fit into what I've just built? Along here, maybe? That could look quite dapper. Yeah, I mean, that's a start. It's a start. I don't mind the way it looks so far. What does it need? I'm not going to add anything more today. If I was to add glass, where would I add the glass? It would be towards the top, I'd say. It looks quite weird as of right now. I think it's the lights that make it look weird. What if I was to add some of these around here? Also, I haven't really thought too much about this side, have I? Although saying that, it's the best looking side so far. I have one bit of light there, I have one bit of light there. Bit of a wall this side, and there you go. Okay, so this side's actually going to be pretty simple to do. That's nice. Yeah, we'll see how it's going to go. Regardless, I think that's going to do it for today. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. I know today was a bit of a quieter stream than normal. That's completely fine. I wanted to get some things done, and we managed to get it done regardless, so I'm quite happy with that. Either way, thank you very much to everyone that tuned in. And tomorrow, we are going to be live again with some regular Satisfactory, some building. We are doing some logistic things inside of there. I've already got the stream ready. If you guys want to set a reminder, you can. But either way, thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. Hope to catch you guys again tomorrow for another Satisfactory live stream. And take it easy. Goodbye, stay safe, and cheerio.